Now, when it comes to game design, developers are always looking for new techniques and ways to increase their productivity output, and sometimes that includes testing new technology. Unfortunately, some ideas just don't work out, and that's what we're learning in today's video as we take a look at some more behind the scenes footage from LEGO Star Wars games. Thanks again to John Burton over on the GameHut channel. Once again, John was one of the original co-founders of Traveler's Tales, which eventually transformed into TT Games. In previous videos, we've taken a look at some more LEGO Star Wars footage, so I'd recommend checking that out if you haven't already, but in today's video, we're going to be witnessing what happens when LEGO animation gets a little too realistic, and by that, I don't mean this. Hey everyone, Logan here, back for another video, and it should come as no surprise that TT Games hand animates a lot of the detail that goes into their games, including the characters and cutscenes, but at one point they tried using motion capture to see if their process could be sped up with greater results. For those that don't know, motion capture is used all the time, not only in film and TV, but also with video games. A great example of this would be the Ahsoka vs. Maul fight from the final season of the Clone Wars that released earlier in 2020. Even though the Clone Wars is an animated series, real-life actors performed everything we saw in the final product. Normally, motion capture is used to get the closest real-life experience when it comes to animation and design, but years ago, TT Games tested out this technology with LEGO, and as John puts it, the results were interesting. Here's a quick glimpse into what the final result was. Now, I don't know about you, but even though the animation is really smooth and honestly looks pretty good, it still seems off to me because we all know LEGO minifigures as blocky characters with limited ranges of movement, so it's really strange to see them moving in these new ways. It's always been the case where in LEGO games and LEGO media, content, so on and so forth, the characters move a little more than they do in real life with the physical products, as their joints aren't restricted to only moving up and down, but by utilizing the motion capture or mocap footage in this case, we get something that goes a little beyond what we're used to seeing, which is probably why it's so disturbing for most of us. Who's to say if TT Games was really considering using motion capture in their LEGO games, or if this was simply a test just to see what the results would look like across a large range of movements and emotions, but if I had to guess, I would assume that these tests were done before The Force Awakens was released, and was a trial to see if they could utilize that technology for that specific game and moving forward with other LEGO games. Just to see the difference more, here's the motion capture footage side by side with some animation from the Force Awakens game. Probably one of the biggest differences that you can see when comparing the two pieces of footage side by side is that with the motion capture, the characters' movements are too fluid and the arms no longer seem to move in ways that still adhere to the physical pieces. In The Force Awakens and other LEGO games, the characters' movements still bend in realistic ways, but don't go too far as to seem humanistic in nature. Now, hopefully my thoughts on the differences here make sense, but being fair, the motion capture doesn't look terrible for the most part, there's just some areas where the movements seem too forced. Nonetheless, there is definitely still something off-putting with this footage, very much reminiscent of Revenge of the Brick, which I did a previous video on, and I think that this has something to do with the fact that the character designs are the ones from the mid-2000s, and that they're not talking. If you took the Force Awakens character designs and dialogue and put them into this animation, it may not look so awkward, but that's just my opinion, and I would have to honestly see the final product. Of course, a lot of people are still against dialogue in LEGO games, partially due to nostalgia for classic games like the complete Saga from 2007, but honestly, I don't mind the dialogue for the most part, as it does add another depth to the animations and design of the overall game. I'm curious to see what you all have to say about this footage though, and what's something about this that bothers you, if anything does at all. Once again, thanks to John at GameHut for this test footage, and be sure to subscribe to his channel for more behind the scenes videos like this in the future. Also, if you happen to enjoy this video, please consider subscribing to my own channel to stay up to date on everything related to LEGO Star Wars content and Skywalker Saga updates. Thanks for watching everyone, have a great day, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.